Hello guys, welcome back to Let's Go Far Together. Today we're going to discuss our throw-ins and how we're going to execute them in our team. And if you choose to do this in your team, good for you, but at least it'll give you an idea. You want to do, what we want to do is three different things. One, to always start from the same setup. So if there's a throwing in our half, the fullback is the one that's going to be taking it. Regardless of where it is, the fullback is going to take it. But the center backs will come here. We are the Reds on this situation. The goalie will shift over too. There's no reason for the goalie to be glued to his line. So he'll come over a little bit in case we need to use a drop. I don't want him here though. Just want him about there. The CDM will come about here, and the cam will go here, and the winger will go here, and the striker will be positioned this way. Everybody shifts this in, except this guy. This guy stays wide to be able to stretch the defense somewhat. This is a 4-3-3 going against a 4-2-3-1, and almost regardless of the formation, we're still going to be doing what we do, because we want to force the other team to react to what we're doing, but we want to be able to have different variations. So within this setup, this cam will also shift in to be about there. Now, more than likely, the striker is going to be here, or it's going to be about here. This guy's going to be marking here, 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 here. Probably they stay advanced. This guy's going to want to pay attention to him, but still it means we have him 1v1. No matter what, this guy's going to be 1v1, because it's very rare that they're going to do this and leave an open space in the middle. And these guys will shift over like this, and what we will find ourselves with is more than likely these guys will be marked like this. And this is the movements that we want to make. The winger makes the run inside. The cam makes the run outside. But in order for this to work and open gaps, I need the winger on the line. I don't want these guys close together, because otherwise they're just going to shift defenders. So you stay here about together, like parallel to each other. But the winger will make the run inside as the cam makes the run outside. So when the winger draws this guy in, so the winger makes the run first as if he's checking for the ball. But instead of playing the ball here, we play it in behind for the cam. So our very first option always, if there is a situation where this guy says right here and they're not even set up yet, and we have a 1v1, or this guy's out of position, and we can throw the ball to the winger, pick it up, and throw it fast. So that's our very first option, to throw it quickly forward to our winger or a striker, whoever is finding themselves in an open position or a 1v1. The second option would be up the wing to the cam. So would be to, as this guy draws his defender in, this throw comes in here, and this cam takes the ball in with all these guys going in here. As you can see, it's a 3v3. Obviously the 8 will support, and this guy will support once we actually play the ball. So that's the second option. The third option will be for the CDM to take a quick turn and find the winger. So same thing, and this guy, everybody makes his movements, okay? This guy makes a movement here, and as this guy comes in first. So the winger comes in first, and then this guy makes his run, and then this guy's, the number 10 and the number 6 do their movement at the same time. After this guy comes in, this guy goes out. If that pass is not on, if this defender stayed here and they are properly marked, then our third option would be to throw the ball here, and this guy take a quick turn with the ball, and ideally just send a long pass for the other winger. But if we can't do that, this cam should drop so we can do what's called swinging the ball. So we just drop it here, and then from here we need to be able to hit the ball in behind. So that's our third option. The fourth option would be to drop it to the CDM so he can go to the striker. So the fourth option will be to simply drop the ball here, or if this guy's protected here, then play it here so he can play it back. So from here we can go to the winger. I mean to the striker, sorry. On the half space. Remember, the half space is simply the area, it's literally this space between the semicircle here and the corner of the box. This is the central space, half space, and then those are your lateral spaces or your wing area. Now, just to recap real quick, on our defensive side, the first option, let me find my eraser here. The first option will be to play a ball quickly if it's on for a player that's open, whether it's a striker, anyone that's open within the space, we want to hit him. The second option would be the winger checks, and as this guy start right here, as the winger checks, the ball's actually playing behind the winger for the cam to run into. The third option would be as this guy's going out, if this guy's well marked, then we'll play the CDM, and the CDM can hit a ball to the opponent, to the opposite winger, or can hit the cam so the cam can hit the winger. Or the fourth option, we'll play it to our center back, so our center back can hit a ball on the air, because it's going to be very hard to get on the ground through all the traffic into the striker. So we want our possession of the ball to be quick. We want our passes to be fast, to be able to hit the opponent team. On the other side will be the same thing. If it's over here, then it's the right back taking the throw in. It's the center back showing here, the center back showing here, and this fullback is over here. We gotta shift in. We can't have a fullback staying over there. And it'll be the same setup, but on the opposite side. So I won't take much of your time explaining that. Now, on the attacking half, so if we gotta throw in on this side, what I want to see, let me push this guy's back real quick. What I want to see is still, the number one option is if this guy's out of position, you know, like we try to hit on a counter and they kick the ball out, the ball's here, and they are, like say there is no fullback there because he was joining the attack. Our very first option needs to be to find a winger and or even the winger, just get the ball and throw it to the striker into that space if it's on. If it's on, always just throw the ball forward into an open player or a player that has a 1v1 situation like this, for example, if that was the case. Because a lot of times we have an opportunity to play a ball fast and go forward and have a very dangerous situation, and we don't because we're like, okay, coach said to do this. No, be smart and play your game. These are simply options. The game will teach you what to do. All I'm doing is trying to facilitate your learning so you understand when to actually make the plays or the actions based on what you know you're supposed to be doing in the game, based on what you see in the game. So don't just hold it because, oh, coach said we got it all set up and then we go. No, if it's on, you play. That's the first option. Now, the second option, let's just say they actually are positioned. Our fullbacks, our center backs will be there. Our winger will be about here. Our cam, this other cam, the right cam, will be here, occupying what's almost like the striker area. The left wing will be here, probably marked by the fullback. The striker will be here. The cam will be here. And the CDM is still here. Now, more than likely, these guys are going to be somewhat like this. They're going to want to protect that. This guy's going to want to protect this guy. And these guys are going to be like this, trying to take advantage of or even leaving a guy up here so they can recover the ball and they can attack. So, if that's the scenario, our number one option, remember, is just to always play it fast and play it forward if we have a player that has a 1v1 situation or an open space. That's it. The second option would be to hit the winger so he can hit across. So if we just play to our winger here, so hopefully he can turn quickly or even just drop it right back to the thrower. And what we want is to put the ball in these areas right away. As soon as we can, no matter what, our objective is to get into the back line and get into the box and attack those spaces. So whether it's just to take the ball here and cross it, or just drop it back to the guy that threw it, and then he can take the kick into the space and behind the back line. Now, the movements will be somewhat like this. This guy curving in. The cam makes the same run as it did before. This guy's more here as protection, but he can still make the same run he did earlier where he checks in, and if he gets followed, then he can turn and the ball gets played in behind. Unless his marker doesn't follow him. You don't have to throw it here. Like, again, this is, you gotta think. If this guy goes here and his marker doesn't move, then you throw the ball here. You don't throw it in behind him so the number 10 can go and attack us. Now, the third option would be to hit the striker, because more than likely the center back's not going to follow the striker, and this guy's not going to move if our guy's there. So the striker makes this run in here. We'll hit the ball to the striker, and the striker again finds these spaces. Those three spaces are our targets. Okay, that's the third option. And then the fourth option would be, like I said, the CDM. The reason why the CDM is the fourth option is because ideally we want him to position himself here as a rest defense rather than being pulled out here. And if we were to make a bad throw there, then we're going on a 4v3. So that's our last option. Our first option is to throw it right away into a 1v1 or an open space, or a player with open space. The second option is to pass it to the winger for the winger to drop it, and then the fullback can actually cross it, or the winger himself can cross it into this area. The third option would be to hit the striker, or you could even throw it here. As this guy comes in, if this is on, then you can throw it here, or you can find the striker here, so the striker can find that pass. And our fourth option would be to find the center defensive midfielder, so he can make that pass, or he can even just, same thing, play it to the fullback, so the fullback can play it into the open space. So I hope that makes sense. It's very quick, it's very simple, but effective if we actually do this right and everybody knows what they're supposed to do. The most important thing was, I don't know if it's the most important thing, but it's very important that every player knows what the other player is supposed to do. So the striker needs to know what the cam is supposed to do, because that way they're not both running to the same space. And also, if, like, say we subbed out, especially at the youth soccer, you sub your players and this striker might be playing cam, after 15 minutes, then he needs to be making this run. This is, pretend it's if this guy's the cam and this is a striker now, then this guy needs to be making this run and this guy needs to be making this run, rather than both of them going this way or both of them going this way. So you got to know what your teammates are supposed to do, and that's why I make these videos, so you guys just learn very simple what you're supposed to do, and always start the same way. That way it's not very confusing, like, oh, I'm supposed to be here, I'm supposed to be there. Everybody starts out from the same area, and then we go from here. All right, I hope that makes sense, and hit a like on the video if you find this helpful at all, and I'll see you guys in the next one.